From fiery pagan rituals to a funeral for a fish, a day of rockets, and a water fight that would give Takeshi's castle a run for its money. These festivals prove the world knows how to celebrate in some truly unusual ways.
In 1988, Margaret Thatcher tried to shut down illegal raves. So these guys started this, the Beltane Fire Festival.
Happy Beltane!
We trekked all the way to Calton Hill in Edinburgh to film a festival that brings in the start of summer. Well, a Scottish summer at least.
The Scottish summer has arrived.
This festival began all the way back in the 1980s by a small group of people.
My name is Angus Farquhar and I'm one of the founders of the Beltane Fire Festival. In 1988, it was the time of Margaret Thatcher. They were tough times and I got really interested in the idea that you could build community that was not affected by the political reality you were living in, that you could do something for yourselves.
The event is based on an ancient European festival. But what was it all about?
When you go back to the sort of 16th, 17th, 18th century, people were blessing for good crops. They were wanting their cattle to stay well. It was much more about bringing small local rural communities together and then having this moment of having got through a tough winter and being ready to kind of go into summer together and just wish themselves well. It was about the lower classes having a good time. It was very free, very liberated, and then they went back into that class system the next day. But in those few hours they were free and it was a celebration of a wilder spirit.
The festival takes place here in Calton Hill, but that wasn't always the case.
We did research with the School of Scottish Studies and found out that the original Beltane, it was taking place on Arthur's Seat. It ran there for hundreds of years, but Arthur's Seat became a place owned by the royals and we wanted nothing to do with royalty. We came to Calton Hill because it's the place where they used to hang witches, so it had a kind of heavy history. So it was the idea on this prominent rock in the middle of a city that it would be a place for the people, for us, for young people, old people, anyone with a good spirit to celebrate the coming of summer. When we did the first one, it was 200 people. It was absolutely anarchic. I used to drum all night. We had people singing Gaelic song. And then over time, more and more people came. So it went from 200 to 500 to 1,000 to 3,000 to the crowds you get now with people coming from all over the world.
Some of the festival volunteers have been doing this gig for a long time.
The Beltane Fire Society is a group of friends. It is a community arts charity. It is a group of lots of different people who believe lots of different things, who want to get together to celebrate and form community. Blues are community elders. On the night we are painted blue with copper and we have large willow branches that we use to guide and direct people around the hill. This is my 20th festival, my 10th Beltane. I have drummed, I have been a dancer, I have been a cat, and I've been doing blue since 2020. This is my 8th festival as a blue.
Organising an event this big must take a lot of work.
It is almost entirely volunteer run. We are always on the last day of April. On a weekend, we would expect to fully sell out the whole hill, which is around about the kind of 10,000 mark. Midweek, I think we're probably going to be somewhere in the region of 8,000 this year, which is wonderful for a Tuesday.
One of the festival's main characters is based on an ancient British folk character called the May Queen.
My name is Alexandra Pribula and I am the May Queen of the Beltane Fire Society. I got involved with the Beltane Fire Society when I first immigrated to Scotland in 2021. The May Queen as a figure exists all over Europe. She often wears white, she is associated with flowers, she's often, virginal, there's a kind of like maiden energy to her, and she represents a lot of springtime and the changing of the seasons.
The May Queen is joined by another old Celtic character called the Green Man.
Hi, my name is White Deer and I'm the Green Man for this year's Beltane. The Green Man is a complex character that represents the connection of our modern culture and our humanity to that of nature. The Green Man incorporates both into one figure and is a way of sort of symbolizing how we are one with nature. We're not separate. I've been a green man before. This is something that I've done in the past at pagan festivals in America. In my community, everyone knew me as the Green Man. This is a very different event, though. This is the largest of its kind on the planet, and it's a pretty amazing event. After you've finished getting all of your makeup, costume, and all of that, things go silent. I think that's really important, that silent time, and as you approach the hill, everything stays silent until that first drum beat. Well, when you hear that first drum beat, it goes right to your heart, and you feel it in your chest. You feel it as a sort of an awakening to reality.
The main focus of our story is following the journey of the May Queen around the hill. The May Queen, she is the earth, she is the sun, she is constancy, she is all of these seasons changing, and she has a consort or a companion, and that is the Green Man. And the Green Man is the spirit of new life. He is reborn every year. Our main story starts off at the National Monument with our what we call our Acropolis sequence. We like the need fire. All fire on the hill stems from that one fire that's lit in a very traditional way. And then we journey around the hill and we visit elemental points. We have a group that dress all in white that are called the Queen's Hands. And we have a group that are all in red called the Reds. They are a balance, so they can be order and chaos, or different sides of the same coin. And it's that mix and balance of energies that comes together at the end of the night with the union or the marriage or the partnership of the May Queen and the Green Man.
The May Queen greets the elements, she greets the cardinal directions, and she's kind of getting back into her body. Some people see it as her coming down as a goddess and entering this mortal or physical realm. Some people see it as her waking up. The May Queen moves around the hill and she goes to this place called Choice Point. And Choice Point is this really critical part of the May Queen story because it's where she has to decide whether or not she's going to bring about summer. The story goes, you have to move into the realm of Beltane or the underworld or the other world, this other plane, and the May Queen then has to commune with all the elements and receive something from them or give something to them. Once she does that, she comes back around the hill, she comes back into this mortal realm, and she's ready, she has what she needs to bring about summer. So she'll meet with the Green Man on stage, and we have our final dance.
Typically, the Green Man goes around and in various versions of his story, he may shed parts of himself that he no longer needs. He brings vitality, he brings energy to all the groups, and from them he gets gifts. And he takes all of this to a culminating moment when he meets with the May Queen. In this case, she's going to be giving me some powerful energy to allow me to do some healing work for the community. This is often interpreted as death, and in a sense it is. It's a shamanic death. Then there's a rebirth. There's a return that happens, and that'll be a grand moment on the stage when we bring back that vitality from the other world. We bring back that joy and share that with the community.
I crown the Green Man, and then we go to light the Beltane bonfire. And then we come back and we have a dance party. I greet people who want to come and greet me and offer me things and just have a moment. Some people ask for blessings, and some people just want to spend a moment with the May Queen as a figure or a goddess. And so I always like to make time for people at the end.
Nearly 40 years later, the Beltane Fire Festival is still going strong, and there's no signs of it stopping anytime soon.
On Beltane night, we raise a toast to the earth, our mother, and the fire, our host. Happy Beltane!
In a way, you watch your baby become a teenager. I don't know what year it's now. It's into its 30s. I'm very proud it's still going. I'm very proud that people want to do it, that it touched on something, that community that it's built is real, is strong, is continuing. The true part of Beltane is the many, many, many months that all of these people spend together, building kinship, building a sense of being in it together, being part of something bigger than yourself.
In eastern Spain, in the city of Valls, there's a legendary onion. Locals will tell you that at the end of the 19th century, a farmer named Chat de Benitez carried out an experiment. He planted a crop of onions, but instead of letting them grow as usual, he increased the depth of the soil above them as they grew. This caused the stems to lengthen and remain white. Not as sharp as a spring onion, and not as subtle as a leek, These onions, called calçots, are mild, sweet, and most importantly, exceptionally delicious. Not long after the onion's creation, local families began hosting calçot eating parties. And in 1982, the onion was granted its own festival, the Gran Festa de la Calçotada.
Hola, soy Carles Soler y soy la persona que está liderando la organización de la Gran Festa de la Calçotada. Yo soy de Valls, soy nacido en Valls de toda la vida y desde bien pequeño recuerdo estas épocas de juntas alrededor de este evento gastronómico para disfrutar del calçot y para poder estar con la familia y con amigos. Todo el año esperando este momento.
The calçots are cooked over hot coals and grapevine clippings, giving them a rich, smoky flavor. The burnt outer layer is removed and the inner part is dipped in a tomato and garlic salvachada sauce.
Aquí en Valls decimos que tenemos que mirar siempre 3 veces hacia arriba. Uno es para comer calçots, el otro es para ver los castells y el otro es para ver el campanar más grande que tenemos de Cataluña aquí en Valls.
Local farmers participate in a competition for the best calçot. This is Del Massey. He is a seasoned calçot grower and an esteemed competition judge.
Para saber si un calçot es el mejor, tienen que ser dulces, no tienen que ser fibrosos, tienen que ser suaves, que se deshagan en la boca. El aspecto tiene que ser fresco, con el verde de las hojas frondoso. En cuanto a la cocción en la llama, tiene que desprender un ruido característico, lo que te recuerda la sensación de ponerte una nube del cielo en la boca. Pues el calçot se pone así, por tanto, la nube que está aquí, que yo me la como y ya está.
While the onions are the main event, there's plenty more to do, including a grand parade, a competition for the best sauce, and a selection of meats and sausages to try. So no one gets thirsty, local wine is readily available, served from a traditional paran. But when it comes to eating calçots, some festival goers have a little more experience than others.
Me llamo Adrián Huercin Perdaneaza, tengo 49 años y llevo ganados 14 concursos de comer calçots.
This year, Adrián ate 221 calçots. That's more than 3 kilos in just 45 minutes.
Adrià Huercin, posició 10. I comença el 30 concurs de calçots. Vinga, va, som-hi!
Es un poco como la maratón, cuando empieza el concurso, que tienes hambre, intento ir muy rápido, pues no paro, no tengo la boca vacía. Luego, a la medida que los ácidos del estómago ya te dicen que estás lleno, bueno, pues vas reduciendo el ritmo e intentas aguantar. Hacia el minuto 30 siempre te preguntas de, eres muy tonto, tío, porque esto es desagradable. Y luego ya los 10 minutos finales es la locura, porque estoy chalado. El concurso de Wildest estaba antes que mi familia. No tenía esposa, no tenía niños. Entonces, es algo que ha venido con mi persona. El Papa va a Wildest porque siempre he ido a Wildest. Ganas, ganas, pierdes, pierdes. Me da igual, me lo paso igual de bien.
In a world full of onions that will make you cry, the smile you get from a calçot is something worth celebrating.
Here in Ubon Ratchathani in northeast Thailand lies a competition shrouded in mysticism and history. And it's all about rockets. A 100 kilograms of gunpowder, 30 feet of bamboo, and some PVC pipes. Teams from local communities and villages compete to build the best rocket. Each year, the whole village gets involved with the festival, in the hope to not only win the competition, but to summon the rain.
ไปถึงเขาจะพาไปนำบั้งไฟไปถวายเจ้าปู่เจ้าตาที่หมู่บ้านนั้นที่เขาไปบนบานไว้แล้วก็นำบั้งไฟไปจุดพักบั้งไฟมันจะมีมหรสพหมายถึงหมอลำซิ่งมีเครื่องเสียงเปิดในงานแต่สถานที่ดีหมอลำก็ลำไปคน เต้นหมอลำเขาก็เต้นไปคนดูบั้งไฟก็ดูไปบรรยากาศสนุกมากสนุกแต่คนไปเป็นหลายๆพันอ่ะรู้จักกันแทบทุกคน
One of the best teams is run by legendary rocket maker Niam Butprum and his daughter Tarn.
ชื่อเล่นชื่อเอาครับครับผมอาชีพทำบั้งไฟถ้าหมู่บ้านนี้มีช่างบั้งไฟเยอะๆแล้วก็มีชื่อเสียงเวลาหมู่บ้านชุมชนจัดงานคนเขาก็อยากมาดูบั้งไฟเก่ง
ค่ะก็ได้เรียนรู้การทำบั้งไฟมาจากคุณพ่อค่ะค่ะก็เป็นเรื่องปกติที่มีผู้หญิงทำบั้งไฟค่ะเพราะว่าในครอบครัวก็มีการทำบั้งไฟก็ต้องมีการทำด้วยกันนะคะเป็นครอบครัวค่ะครอบครัวเดียวกันค่ะหน้าที่หลักนะคะก็จะเป็นการรับคิวงานให้พ่อค่ะประสานเจ้าภาพแต่ละงานแต่ละหมู่บ้าน
How do you determine which rocket wins?
บั้งไฟที่จะชนะเป็นบั้งไฟที่บินได้สูงระบบข้างบนทำงานปกติหางเบาเวลาลงต้องเบาทำเวลาได้เยอะกว่าเพื่อนในที่นั้นเขาอาจจะได้440 450เราอาจจะได้460 470คือเป็นผู้ชนะ
But regardless of whether they win or lose, it's all about supporting the village and upholding traditions.
ถ้าวันไหนชนะหรือวันไหนที่แพ้ก็จะมีการทานข้าวนะคะทานข้าวร่วมกันจะเป็นตัวแทนของคนอีสานเลยค่ะเป็นประเพณีวัฒนธรรมไทยของคนอีสานนะคะที่มีความสนุกสนานมีความสามัคคีแล้วก็ได้สืบสานประเพณีที่ดีงามก็คือการขอฟ้าขอฝนค่ะ
This might look like a festival, but it's actually a funeral. In Spain, in this city, in this museum, behind this door is a coffin so sacred, it's protected by this security camera. And what's in this special coffin? A sardine, of course. Entierro de la Sardina is a Spanish festival that dates right back to the 1800s, when a group of students decided to hold a funeral march for a fish, to mark the end of fasting in Lent. Fast forward to present day, and the festival has grown into a jam-packed party weekend. And it all ends with the burning of a huge sardine. Cities across Spain and the Canary Islands have their own carnival celebrations. But Murcia's festival is legendary.
Bueno, la preparación del entierro de la sardina se realiza durante todo el año. Es un trabajo constante.
As president, Jose oversees the sardineros, 400 locals divided into 23 groups, who are in charge of the festival floats and celebrations.
Cada grupo sardinero tiene un nombre de un dios de la mitología romana o griega. Apolo, Baco, Palas Atenea.
All weekend festival goers are showered with gifts, so you better pack light.
Cada grupo, que son 23, lleva unos 40.000 juguetes. Entonces, bueno, multiplica. Más de 1 millón de juguetes. Mucho más de 1 millón de juguetes.
Oh yeah, this is Pablo, by the way, the festival's very own mascot.
El puesto lo heredé hace 17 años de una persona que, bueno, se dejó el cargo y tenían que buscar a otro que fuese grande para llenar el traje, y yo soy muy grande, porque, como dije antes, nadie te da instrucciones para ser sardina o mascota. Creo que una mascota, para ser una buena mascota, lo que tienes es que no tener nada de vergüenza, también ser un poco divertido, no tener vergüenza, bailar, saltar, un poco estar a lo que el público te pida. Pues cuando la gente me ve, sobre todo reclama la atención, gritándome "sardina, sardina", o me dice "el sábado te quemamos", o me pide una foto o algo así.
And no festival is complete without its leading lady. Each year, a Doña Sardina is appointed the Sardine Queen.
Pues cuando me comunicaron que me dijeron "queremos que seas Doña Sardina", literalmente pues lloré, se me saltaron las lágrimas porque esto es un honor.
The day before the final parade, Doña Sardina reads her will. It is a funeral, after all.
El testamento de la sardina siempre es un texto divertido, ácido, irónico, en tono pues, sátira, que se tocan los temas de actualidad.
Murcia tiene una población de 450.000 habitantes aproximadamente y el sábado de Murcia duplica su población.
Pero los hoteles están con una ocupación hotelera al 100%, los apartamentos, pues la gente llega de todas las partes del mundo al entierro de la sardina.
And this is the moment they've all been waiting for.
La emoción más fuerte es cuando quemamos el catafalco.
Pues es una mezcla de alegría y de tristeza. Tristeza porque se acaban las fiestas y alegría del sábado por la noche. Todo tu equipo de sardineros, sachoneros, mi familia también, que al final somos todos sardineros.
Al final esto nace también de, como decimos, de un grupo de estudiantes que querían compartir esa alegría y poco a poco esa alegría se ha transformado en esto que es algo pues, enorme y en una de las fiestas más divertidas del mundo.
For hundreds of years, pirates, Vikings, and Navy boats have battled for every inch of the 7 seas. And now the battle is spread to the shore.
New captain on the Navy ship this year, and we're coming for you.
You better be ready to be beheaded.
Prepare to get wet with your own blood.
Deep in the Australian outback, you'll find Alice Springs. It's a town straddling miles of desert and the River Todd. Well, river is a strong word because the Todd, it spends most of the year dry. It's on this scorching riverbed that the town hosts Henley on Todd, the world's only dry riverboat race. Unsurprisingly,
Henley on Todd is just a crazy day of crazy races and activity in the dry riverbed. This dry riverbed here of the Todd River here in the middle of Australia, in central Australia, in Alice Springs. Back here, I reckon it was in 1962, Red Smith and a few of his Rotarian mates, they were having some beers and trying to work out how to do a fundraiser. They came up with this idea of having a boat race in the Todd River. And then they thought, well, okay, we do that, but how are we going to move these boats? And Red said, no, what we'll do is we'll cut the bottoms out of them and we'll run inside them. There's so many events go on the day. The finale of the event is the Battle of the Boats. They're actually proper boats, but underneath the boats is generally it's a four-wheel drive, and that's how it's powered. It's the craziest thing you can imagine of 3 boats. 1, we've got the Navy, 2, we've got the Pirates, and 3, we've got the Vikings.
let's meet the teams.
The Navy is the best boat and crew in this battle. We've got the best moral fibre, we've got the best standards, we're disciplined, and we would die on the battlefield for each other.
On the pirate ship, we've got 52 cannons. We've got a gunpowder match. We put the match in the bottom, we pack it with an unmilled flour, and along with that, we have a lot of water bombs.
Vikings have got to be the best team because we're not afraid to go to battle. We're probably the goofiest, so we'll just run around town and make people laugh and do silly shenanigans.
This is our winning trophy from last year. I don't plan for this trophy to go anywhere this year. We'll be drinking out of it again.
Let the battle commence!
The final battle is the greatest water fight that you could ever experience in your life.
It is a colourful affair, it is a loud affair, and it is a very, very messy affair.
The very final decision of the day is who wins the Battle of the Boats, and that's decided by the crowd, whoever applauds the loudest.
And the Pirates are victorious in this year's Henley on Todd Boat Battle Spectacular.
Winning the Battle Boat Spectacular is the greatest feeling. You jump off that boat completely elated, and you just celebrate with your teammates. It is unbelievable.